Hi, okay, so what I'm going to do with this exercise is just go through a quick masking task just to give you an idea of what that is and how it works. Okay, so I'm going to take this video file I've got, which is called millenniumpoint.mov, and I'm going to just drop down a new comp to generate a comp. And what I've also got is a Photoshop file, which is of a jet. In fact, if I double click that, just open it up here in the footage monitor, you can see it's just a still image of a jet. In fact, if I press the toggle transparency button, you can see there is nothing behind it, okay, even though we're seeing black. By default, obviously After Effects shows black, which is what you would see on a video. So what I'm going to do is going to drag that and drop that on top of my Millennium Point file. And what you'll see is obviously now we've got a jet that is appearing on top of the video of Millennium Point, which isn't really what I wanted. I wanted it to fly through the sky. So that's one of the reasons why we use masking, because what it allows us to do is separate elements of video clips. Okay, so it gives us a bit more depth. In real life, obviously the sky is one part of the background, and then the building is another. They're two separate elements. However, in the video frame, they're just flat. It's one thing, and what we need to do in a sense is bring that separation back, and that's why we use masking. So what I'm going to do is, even though the fighter jet's there, I'm going to just turn that layer off by clicking that little eye icon there. By clicking that, it sort of just hides it, so I don't have to see it right now. And in order to mask, I'm going to be using the pen tool here. And what I would say is, to start off with, make sure you've selected the layer that you want to create the mask on. If you have no layer selected, like I do right now, so I haven't selected any layers, if I then click the pen tool, you'll notice up here I'm getting these options about the fill color, which is red. There's a stroke color, which is white, and it's 2 pixels. And as I start to click, I'm actually creating a shape, okay, that is red, and it's going to have a white border on it. And you'll see I've even got a new layer now called shape layer. Okay, and I can close that shape off and I'm done. Okay, and I've got an actual shape layer. So what the pen tool does is it creates shapes for you. However, if you select a layer, then you'll see now, even though I'm still on the pen tool, it's disappeared. And in fact, what it's doing is it's going to use it to create a mask. So let's see how a mask actually works. Okay, so one of the things you can do as well, or what I generally use, try to zoom in, because what you want to do is you want to get in as close as you can to the shape when you're creating a mask, you know, be able to see those edges properly. In order to move, just hold the spacebar button down, and it should automatically change to the hand icon. When I let go, it'll automatically switch back to the pen. Okay, so there's your hand icon, and what the hand tool does is, if I press that down, it allows me then to just use my left mouse button down to sort of drag across the frame. Now be careful, what I am doing is still holding on to the spacebar, okay, because as soon as I let go, it automatically changes back to the pen tool. But like I said, it should now allow me to start drawing some shapes. So the nice thing with the building is it's square, so a mask is just created by clicking once to create points. And you can see I'm going across here, across the building. Okay, and from there, again, like I said, it's quite nice, it's just straight. I can just click here. In fact, I'm going to just zoom out a bit now. Okay, because I only need to keep the shape where the plane is going to go, I don't need to worry too much about the rest. So you'll notice now I'm just going to click outside the frame, click there. Okay, so I'm just creating a massive mask, really, I guess, in a sense that sort of covers everything. I'm not too bothered. I just need that part of the building, really, the edges. And then when I go back to my starting point, you'll see I get a little circle that appears next to my pen tool. Okay, and when I click on that, okay, it's finished, and the mask has only kept the building that I originally had selected and nothing else. And that might be a bit difficult to tell because the background's come up white, so let's just click the checkerboard so we can see that. Yeah, and you can see that actually the background is there's nothing there now, so we've lost that part. So what that means is when I switch the fighter jet back on, yes, right now it's the top layer, so we've got a layer stacking order. Whatever is at the top is always at the very front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move that so it's underneath my Millennium Point video, and now you'll notice the plane has gone behind the building. Okay, in fact I can move it around, but it'll always appear behind that building, unless obviously I go to the points where I didn't bother finishing the mask properly. But like I said, I'm not taking the plane there, that's why I didn't draw the mask correctly everywhere. Okay, so we've got that. What I also now need, though, is I need the sky to come back. So I guess I could draw another mask, but actually I don't need to bother with that. What I'll do is I'll just take the Millennium Point video I had originally again, and I will bring it back in. And this time I'm going to drop it right at the very bottom, to fill in the sky, and you see now we've got the sky back. Okay, and we've got our plane in between the two, so it's kind of sandwiched in between the two. So if we turn these off for a second, you'll see there's our original video clip in its entirety. Okay, there's the plane again right on top of the background, and then on top of that we have our mask at the very end, which is just the building, and that's kind of giving us that separation. What I would also recommend when you're doing this is, if I click in here, I can press enter. I'm going to call that mask. Okay, or if I want to be even more specific, building mask. Okay, so I know it's the mask of the building. Got my fighter jet in the back. That bottom layer is really just the background, so I'll just call it BG for background. Okay, so start naming your layers as well. Get used to that in order to be able to quickly navigate through. But hopefully that's giving you some idea on how to create masks, and we'll then take this tutorial further.